Welcome guys to the channel Techno Space, and today we will continue the class of the machine learning. So in previous classes we have gone through some of the using techniques of the libraries of the Python like pandas and NumPy. So today that we will continue the class of the machine learning and try to understand that what is the machine learning in a very simple language, in a very layman language, layman terms. So let me try to make you completely understand on this, that what is the machine learning and how machine thinks in a very common example, or in a very simple example. So for an example, that consider that you are trying to throw a paper to a dustbin, and after so many or several attempts, that in the first attempt that you realize that you have put too much force in it, and after second attempt you realize that you are closer to target, but you need to increase your throw angle. So what is happening here, that is, it is basically that every throw, each and every throw, we are learning something and improving the end result. So we are programmed to learn from our experience. Okay, so this way that we are getting our experience, that how closer that we can put our paper to a dustbin by putting our effort, or in the past experience of 2 or 3 attempts, that we can realize for some extent that we can put this paper to our dustbin. So this way also machine learns. So machine learns through the past data, and we try to make machine to test or train also on the basis of the models that we use, and through the testing and training the data, machine actually learns, and that gives you your required output. So in the today class also we will learn some of the concept of the machine learning. So basically the machine learning, it is divided into the different categories like supervised, unsupervised, or the reinforced machine learning. And we have like the classification, regressions, and something the more terms also we use in the machine learning. So today we will learn the linear regression, that how we apply linear regression in our machine learning model. So as you can see, on the screen, that today we are using Anaconda Navigator. So it is very simple to use. To use our IDE for the Jupyter Notebook, we can use Anaconda Navigator also. So on this interface you can see this is a Jupyter Notebook. It is very simple. It is web based. So you just now click on this launch, and it gets open in your browser like this way. Okay, so it is very simple to use. So in the previous classes we have understand that how we import pandas and NumPy libraries in our machine learning model, and what is the use of it. So we can work any kind of the data, like if the data is in the Excel format or in the CSV format, and we can create our data frame. So like we have already imported our pandas and NumPy library in our module. So we can read our data frame. So in our file, this is the file regression file. In the regression folder, so in this folder we have given the path of the folder, and along with the extension of the file and the file name, and it is the row path of, so we just write R here, and the file is the Excel file. So we have some other method of the PD pandas. If just let me make you understand on this, that we have the different method. So as you can see that we have API arrays, or that if you want to read, so you can read any kind of the file like CSV, Excel, if your file is HTML, JSON, so any kind of the category of the file you are having, you can read by using your pandas library. So we have read our file, and we can create the data frame, and the data frame name is data. So we can just see here that in the data that we have our data like age or salary. So the object of today output is this, that on the basis of this data we can predict that what is the salary of a particular person can be, that if we just have the age of that particular person. So in the simple in this data we have like age column and the salary. So the age, suppose that if the age of a person is 18, so salary is, it is start from 100, and like this way if the data is random data, if the age is 23, so the salary is 600. So there is no common function or the formula here, but we can use the machine learning linear regression predictions, so that we can predict salary of any particular age if it is given to us. So we have taken two variables for these two columns. So in the X we have the salary. So this is our salary, which is that we need to figure it out that what it would be. And for a very in the linear regression we have the formula like y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so y is that we have to identify, right? So this way that we have to figure it out. Okay, so we have to identify that what would be our salary if the age is given to us. Okay, so in the x variable we have the salary, and this way that we have the data type int 64. In the y variable that we have taken out the age also, right? So in both that we have the both variable for our both the columns. So it is very simple. I hope that you have understood. Now to predict or to use our model, the linear regression in our model, so we have to import the linear regressions by using the sklearn. So from sklearn.linear model, if you are using the linear regression, so you just need to import the linear regression, and this linear regression method that you need to define in your model. So in model, now in your model that you can fit your both variables to identify that whether it is a linear regression or not, right? So here you can see in the output also, if you just run it here, so it is like linear regression. So our model is ready to predict. So now you can predict your output. So for an example, that if you want to predict of a person that whose age is 27, so just you take the variable x test, and you give the value like 27, and you want to predict it. So you want to predict, so in the predict you just fit your model. So model dot predict predict, and in the predict you just give your x test x test is your y, and x that you need to define. So you just you can now run it. X test is not define. X test is not define. It is like okay. So now that you have run your X test here, and now the predictions that it has gone into the predictions variable. Now you can just print that what is the predictions. So now you just have to write here that the salary at the age of 27, and now it would be like you just can give your variable here pret and just